Hi, my name is Ashley Crystal. This is my final for business communications for fall of 2019. I enrolled in this class partially because it is a requirement for me to get my associate's degree, partially because when I took business law in high school, I found it really fascinating to see how business actually worked from a kind of a philosophical level and a very literal applications way that wasn't super focused on necessarily marketing or sales, but just kind of the basics of that. I expected this class to kind of be another just communications class, maybe how to fill out forms or how to conduct meetings. Maybe it was just going to be a marketing class and this was going to be how to get people to like your videos or how to sell a product easily and communicate with consumers. That's not actually what this class was, and it was pleasantly surprising. What I actually learned was a lot of the fundamentals of what communication is, not really from a gooey psychological sense of you feel it and energy connection, but more of like a no. Information is passed from sender to receiver, and here's everything that influences it along the way. I found that breaking it down like that was very intuitive and was able to connect me to actually understand how communication can be altered and constructed, not just in a writing format, but any interaction. How I'm talking to you on this video, how people can connect via social media, how just interpersonal connections can happen both one-on-one or wide scale, and how like both your tone and your audience and the channels that you're going through doesn't have to be constructed just like this is how you build a resume and this is how you write an essay in MLA format, but that all of those characteristics and all of those key parts of what communication is can change how it's received and how you give it. So there is a lot more element of control over that, which I found really fascinating. I also found it really helpful to go through the information about how to both give and receive genuine and good feedback. As a person in the live events industry, and just kind of who I am, I'm constantly asking questions, and I'm constantly asking for feedback. I feel like this class definitely helped me in figuring out ways and methods that I can ask for feedback, both with better intent and response to the people going through that effort to give me genuine feedback and understand how much energy and thought can necessarily go into that, and how to reciprocate that appreciation and actually apply those things to myself and to how I work and to my life in ways that I wasn't really solid before this class. Things that I already knew, but this class really solidified was just how to run meetings. Like, I've run meetings before as a stage manager for different projects and different groups, but the tips and tricks that you gave to both paperwork and interpersonal prepare for those meetings so that it can be run more efficiently, and how, like, things to do while in the meeting to make it more effective in the long run. I really enjoy the thought and attention that was put into both like the agenda and the minutes, and how to have other people, not just yourself, take responsibility for that, and how you can get people to want to and encourage them to participate within the meetings. It was interesting in the meetings that I had with my group because there would be times where I would be, and each of us would have times where we would push others to prompt for feedback, to prompt for, hey, what do you think about this idea that I just presented? What ideas do you have? How are you feeling about this? And trying to prompt it to be a lot more of a collaborative experience than some other groups and projects that I've worked on in the past, where it's kind of like, okay, one person has an idea, we're going to go with that, and that's kind of the end of the discussion. This class, I feel, the way that the teams were set up was really fruitful for being able to experience that kind of collaboration. I also was familiar with the models and kind of concepts of how teams can evolve, and I really appreciated the Avengers films that you created in kind of illustrating how those stages can actually be shown. I commented on one of the videos, and I've been thinking about it quite a lot lately because a big part of my recreational life is tabletop role-playing games. So games like Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder, and just in illustrating all of the different stages of this model can be highly applicable to every D&D party and campaign that I can think of. Forming stage, why is this party coming together? These random adventurers from different parts of this made-up land coming together to pursue their own missions and their own desires and adventures, but why do they stick together? And they're somehow forming a party because of some essential need or thing that brings them together. The storming. Each person wanting to take the party a different direction, not understanding alignments between good and evil, and chaotic and lawful, and having differences between character alignments can really drastically change how characters interact. And that can cause cliques, that can cause, like, some party members being a lot more intimate and close with other party members, and also, like, lying and deceiving and deception and distrust between a party, which can ultimately, like, lead to some really bad juju. The norming setting, or the norming stage, where you finally get into a couple of fights, into a couple of conflicts, and actually understand how each person can benefit and inform the team into being better. And then performing. Finally get into a boss fight, and each of you are committing to your own strengths and the things that you're good at, and realizing that if you were to fight that creature, that person, by yourself, that you would be squashed and dead in minutes, if not seconds. But together as a group, you can conquer this massive, powerful enemy. And a journey. Your personal mission is done, or the group mission is done, and you move on to the next project. And I feel like all of that has been really informative to seeing how and why groups and teamwork can be helpful throughout everything, throughout career, interpersonal life, gaming. It's all there. Which really makes me think of how I can apply that to my work in stage management. As a stage manager, I am generally the key pivot for everyone around me to be able to communicate. I'm the one that enables a firm understanding between the actors and the director, the designers and the actors, and making sure that everything is safe and that everything can actually happen. This can come in a lot of different channels and a lot of different methods of using tone and phrasing, and some people require more attention and some people can be a lot more independent. And working with such diverse people and such a diverse team that's constantly changing from project to project, understanding how to adapt that communication and do it in a very professional manner, and being able to figure out how to guide that I feel like is really, really important for me to get out of this class. It's also been a learning experience figuring out how to deal with my personal chaos while in a group and figuring out how to take responsibility both for my actions and the parts of my team, and how I'm not just going in this on my own, and figuring out ways that I can be supported but also take responsibility and support the people around me for the commitments that I have made. So, thank you for this class. It has been a good learning experience, and I look forward to continuing learning.